I mean, a little bit of breaking news in the Fight Night Picks industry as Islam Makhachev is out of his main event slot with Rafael dos Anjos. We're really looking forward to it. It would have been a great matchup at lightweight. RDA moving back down from 70 to the division that he once ruled as champion. And for Islam Makhachev, this was the opportunity to kind of pick up the torch from Khabib Nurmagomedov, his teammate, and really try and put down a statement win over RDA. That would have been the play. Now, with Makhachev out, there's limited options for a main event here. I mean, do you move Rafael dos Anjos up to 170, give him a short notice opponent? Do you go with somebody at 155 pounds? Matt, we've really been tossing around this idea and a little bit of behind the scenes inside baseball from Fight Night Picks. We'd started making our picks tonight for this card, and then this really threw a wrench into the plan. So we'll have to see what happens. But out of the likely opponents at 155 pounds, if we look at the rankings, you'd have to think Rafael dos Anjos moving back down to lightweight. You want to give him somebody with a little bit of shine, a little bit of that maybe number next to their name. There's guys out there, but what I would hate to see is dos Anjos get just thrown in there with one of these top 10 guys, but there could be an opportunity here. You never know.
There really could be, and RDA is in this really weird position. He's never going to get an easy fight because everyone knows who he is already. You've already kind of written the story of your career, and everything else is just the cherry on top. Like, RDA could never win another fight, and he might not be in the UFC Hall of Fame just due to name recognition, but like RDA is one of the better fighters to ever compete in the UFC. He's phenomenal at everything. He's just said yes to every fight they've ever given him, and he's kind of the definition of a company man, so it would be just an absolute shame if they were like, hey, I know you made a massive lifestyle change to make 155 again, but you want to take a fight at 170 against some no-name? That's not what I want to see. Not that anyone in the UFC is a no-name, that was disrespectful, but it's true. You don't want to have to see Rafael dos Anjos just fight another guy. All of his fights, they feel like they deserve to at least have a little bit of shine next to them. You know, he's fought Michael Chiesa, Usman, Covington. Like, he doesn't get easy fights. I have the ideal matchup for Rafael dos Anjos, though, and I think it is almost too perfect for them not to put together. Now, it would require him to maybe go to 170 to make it happen, but it is against a 155er, and that fight is RDA versus Beneil Dariush, one of my favorite guys at 155. Really on, like, the all-violence team all of a sudden. Not a guy who I thought would make his way there, but Beneil, you've done it. He missed weight in his last fight, so it's really hard to reward a guy after that, and I'm really down on people who miss weight, but Beneil Dariush, I still like you. He's got a lot of the tools, too, that would kind of be a precursor to see how well RDA would have done against Makhachev, because look at what Islam does well. He's got really good wrestling, his grappling's phenomenal, and he's got, I would say, basic stand-up, but it's still very effective. Beneil does all of that stuff. He's not as good at the wrestling, but his jiu-jitsu, I would say, is better. And here's the kicker. His striking is so much better than Islam Makhachev's, it's not even close. Like, Beneil Dariush's striking is absurd. Now, yes, he can get caught clean on the chin. That's going to happen. I would say his durability is at the lower end of the positives on the Beneil Dariush factor. But Beneil, like, as an MMA fighter, what are you going to do? Outstrike him? Very hard to do. He just won a fight by spinning back fist, and it was awesome. What are you going to do? Out-grapple him? Michael Chiesa submitted him, but I believe he's the only MMA fighter to ever do it. So you're really running out of options. I really think Beneil Dariush, he needs a big fight. He's been trying to get that Charles Oliveira fight forever now, and it would have been really nice if they could have put that together. So we don't get the ideal, Benny versus Charles Oliveira matchup, but I do think this would be a really great consolation prize. And this is the most important thing. I think it's a fight that still warrants being main event. RDA versus an unranked 170 or an unranked 155 guy. At this stage in RDA's career, I still love him. Like, he's in that Matt Brown, Carlos Condit category where no matter what happens to them, I'm always going to get excited when they fight. But RDA at this stage of his career isn't really the top guy or top draw that he used to be. Him against like a Beneil Dariush who isn't that top 15, I do think it'd be a really exciting fight. I think it'd be a fight that gets a lot of fans talking. And I think more importantly, it would be an exciting fight that would keep fans talking after it happens.
Matt, if we have a look at Beneil Dariush's record, again, 5-fight win streak, Thiago Moises, Drew Dober, Frank Camacho, Drakkar Klose, and Scott Holtzman. Again, it's a shame that the fight against Charles Oliveira isn't happening. We were anticipating that in October. Oliveira withdrew. So we have seen Beneil Dariush cornering fighters as recently as last week with Giga Chikadze. Landed the Giga kick with Jamie Simmons. But again, he didn't look lean and trim.
He didn't. That's why it might have to happen at 170.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And the other thing, too, with RDA, I mean, you talk lean and trim, the guy looks amazing. If you look over on Instagram, been training at Gracie Baja HQ in California, and you have a built-in narrative of, Well, RDA used to train at Kings all the time. Beneil Dariush, main guy at Kings, cornering Giga Chikadze. Like, see, there's a little bit of a
Sean
storyline
Shelby,
there.
I'm coming for your job.
Now, this is where it gets a little funky because my pick is actually a guy that has fought Drew Dober before. And no, it's Drew Dober.
Okay,
he
Mike
fought
Goldberg.
Beneil Dariush. Yeah, I had a Mike Goldberg moment. But for me, it's Drew Dober. And the trouble is, he was getting ready for another top flight fight. So you had Dariush getting ready for Charles Oliveira. You had Drew Dober getting ready for Carlos Diego Ferreira. That fight fell out. So did Drew Dober just give up? Well, I don't think he did. But I wonder how weight is. So that's the thing. I wonder if they'd want to force a fight at 55. And Drew Dober's had issues weighing in before. Just ask the California State Athletic Commission. So I would be a little hesitant on probably both of these offerings, really, with Dariush and with Dober. But where they had fights that have fallen out in the last month to 2 months, hey, maybe that's the one that you want to make. And Drew Dober, a ranked opponent. Is he as high as Beneil Dariush? No, but Dariush sitting at 11, Makhachev at 12, Gillespie at 13, and Dober at 14. And if you look at Drew Dober so far in the UFC, we go back a long ways. We go back all the way to 2013. But out of those wins, Scott Holtzman, another former opponent, Beneil Dariush's last opponent, the Josh Berkman win, Jason Gonzalez, John Camacho, another former common opponent. Polo Reyes, weird matchmaking. He beat Nazar Hakparas in his last time out. He's supposed to fight Carlos Diego Ferreira. That one got canceled. And then he beat Alexander Hernandez in a fight that he owned. So for me, Drew Dober, really fan-friendly style. He looks like he's caught his footing again since that Dariush lost. And he's looked amazing in those 3 fights. He took the shine away from Hakparas. He took the shine away from Hernandez. That would be the perfect matchup. Again, RDA with the scrambles, with the wrestling. Can he keep that pace? Drew Dober, he has dynamite in his hands. He can catch you with those hooks on your way in. He can catch you with the straight shots up the middle. I think it would be a really fun matchup. I don't think you could go wrong with Dariush or with Drew Dober.
Let's just have them rematch in the main event for all I care. I just want, like, a good main event. You have no... Like, RDA versus Makhachev, phenomenal fight. Can be really good, I think, no matter what. I know Makhachev was a very big favorite in this fight, but RDA is no one's fool. Like, you don't beat RDA easily, unless your name's Kamaru Usman. But RDA coming back down, like, there was such a good storyline built into this. He had lost to kind of Makhachev's mentor, if you will, in Khabib Nurmagomedov years ago. So I just felt like this could have been a really fun main event no matter what the odds were. And the fact that we're not getting it is unfortunate. This is like the poor man's Khabib Tony, because it just seems like this is a fight that won't get put together anymore. So it is unfortunate. Mainly so for Makhachev, because he's had a very hard time getting ranked opponents to agree to fight him. Big reason as to why RDA coming down from 170 is that's why he's fighting Islam, because no one wants to fight him. No one knows who he is. And it is unfortunate, but he doesn't have a big following. And he's a nightmare matchup for pretty much everyone. Like, Dan Hooker had said it. Dan Hooker, before he fought Poirier, Makhachev was calling him out a lot, and he's like, we're trying to sell tickets. I could fight you outside of a Walmart parking lot. No one would watch Filthy Line by Dan Hooker. But it's unfortunate for Makhachev. Hopefully it's not a really serious injury that's keeping him out, and hopefully we can get this fight back together soon. But yeah, get Beneil Dariush or Drew Dober in there in the meantime. Let's have some fun.
Let's see what happens, Matt. We've already got the predictions locked and loaded, so make sure you keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks. We do appreciate everybody that's been tuning in lately. The channel's grown wildly over the past couple of weeks. In the last 10 days, 1,000 subscribers. That's all thanks to you out there. If you're not subscribed, help us out and join in the team. It really is a team effort, and we do appreciate you. So keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks. You'll have great content coming out this week, and hopefully we get a replacement main event. Will it be Beneil Dariush? Will it be Drew Dober?
We're gonna look like geniuses if it is.
Or will it be somebody totally different? That's left to be decided, but keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks, Matt, as we always say.
Let's get into it.